Monsters, it's your hostess with the mostest, Kiki, back with another wonderful episode of Campus Update. Did you see Appa acting She Kills Monsters this weekend? If you haven't, don't worry. There's 2 more shows this week. If you need more convincing, let me tell you all about this incredible play. She Kills Monsters is a play written by Ki Nguyen. Set in 1995 in the town of Athens, Ohio, the show tells the story of Agnes Evans as she leaves her childhood home after the untimely passing of her sister Tilly. She tries to connect with her late sister by playing her favorite game, Dungeons and Dragons. Along the way, she meets several magical friends and foes and goes on an adventure of self-discovery in an action-packed journey filled with 90s pop culture references. She Kills Monsters offers a heart-pounding homage to the geek and warrior within us all. This show is set in the Black Box Studio Theater and is in the round, meaning the audience members are seated on all sides of the stage with the actors performing in the middle. Just a little warning, this show is not intended for children under 13 and other sensitive viewers as it contains violence, swearing, and discussion of sex and sexuality. Other than that, please see this incredible show. The cast and crew have worked so hard to make this a beautiful story of magic and adventure. If I've swayed your opinion, make sure you buy your tickets for this Thursday the 18th and Friday the 19th. Did you go to MMET's Beatles show a few weeks ago? Well, you should have. But it's fine if you didn't, because Audrey and Chase are here to show you how it all went down.
So I am in media and I'm in pop, so I'm in both parts of MMET. And for the show, I have 2 songs, one at the very beginning and then one at the end. So at the beginning, I have to be in my costume, and then I change into all black to be a handheld on stage. And then I change back into a different costume. Say my favorite song, I'm not in, but my favorite song is Live and Let Die. Just, it's beautiful. My favorite part of the show is genuinely being blinded by the lights when you're on stage and where you can't see the audience. It makes all of your stage fright go away, because if you can't see the audience, they're not there.
I mean, I'm directing the first few songs of the Beatles show. It's been an amazing process. I mean, my favorite part has probably been bringing snacks and then forgetting to wear a black shirt because it's navy blue. But yeah, I love the Beatles show. I love the songs, love pop. I've been directing for a couple of years now, so I mean, this isn't really anything new, but it's fun because we're back at it, you know? Looking like it's gonna be a pretty good show tonight, so yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, you guys, for that. On another note, grab your paddles, because Rosalind's here to make a splash with the HBHS girls rowing team.
The Newport Aquatic Center, a non-profit organization that offers award-winning ocean sports, some of which our very own students compete on. The girls' rowing team, amongst one of them, can be seen practicing every day from 3:30 to 6:30 in the gorgeous waters of Newport Harbor.
Well, usually we get to go out on the water, and it's usually really cool because in the Back Bay in Newport, it's so pretty. We work out on the water, and sometimes we do land stuff, but the water stuff is more fun, and that's what we mostly do. We compete a lot. Actually, we just went to a race in Boston where we got 5th place, which was pretty cool, out of 80 boats.
The cool thing about rowing at the NAC is that once you get into your junior year of high school, the coaches will start helping you look for colleges, and they'll help you get recruited to colleges.
COVID didn't really affect us too much. At first it was kind of hard to meet and do our own practices. We had to wear masks when we worked out for a couple months last year, but it got lifted a little bit more as people got vaccinated.
It's really conditioning me to be the best rower I can be right now. I would say join rowing because of all the friends you make.
It's super good for college scholarships. If you row, you're basically going to be a target for colleges. And it's also a really good way to stay fit and spend your time. If you were just doing a sport, maybe your season ended, or you realize that you have time to do extra things, this is a really good way to spend your time and make new friends.
So, if you're interested, make sure to check out the website for more information. Thanksgiving is coming up, which means life solely revolves around food for the next week. And here at Campus Update, we love talking about food. So here's Audrey with a delicious apple pie recipe.
What's up, Oilers? Thanksgiving is next week, so that means it's finally time to hang out and spend time with friends and family. But it's also time to eat lots of good food. And I don't know about you, but when I think of Thanksgiving food, I think of apple pie. So today, I'm going to be making some apple pie. Okay, so I'm going to start by adding an entire stick of butter into a cast iron skillet, and I know it's a lot of butter, but it's fine. Now I'm going to cut and slice and peel some apples, and then I'm going to get an entire cup of brown sugar. And yeah, it's a lot of brown sugar, but I'm going to add all the brown sugar into the cast iron skillet with the now melted butter from earlier. And also those apples from earlier, yeah, we're going to cut them up, and now here they are all cut up, and I'm going to put them into a bowl with some sugar and some cinnamon, and then after that, I'm going to mix it around, and I'm going to repeat this step once again. Now, after I have mixed and repeated my step, I'm going to get my brown sugar and butter cast iron skillet from the oven, and add in my first pie crust at the very bottom and lay it down and flat it against the side so I can place my apples in, you know, that kind of stuff. Then I'm going to add around half of my apples that I have made, not all of them because the other half is going to be used for something else later, but I'm going to add around half of them into the cast iron skillet with the pie crust and whatever, and I'm going to spread it around, and then, you know, normally you'd add the very top pie crust here, but I'm adding a second pie crust to add the rest of the apples on top of, and I'm going to flatten that down and add the other half of the apples and spread those around again. And after that, I'm finally going to add the very top pie crust. Now this is a 2-layer pie, and that's why it's like this, because it's 2 layers, you know. But I'm adding the top layer on, and then the recipe calls for a quarter cup of sugar to be added on top. That's like a lot of sugar. So I only added not even half, like a pinch of sugar. This looks more than a pinch, but I didn't add that much. And then I sliced put 4 little slices into the pie. So I think it's like so air and stuff can like release from the pie, but also it just looks nice. And then I added butter. So this is kind of just a lot of fats in a pie, but in all honesty, it was a good pie. So I'm not complaining, right? After this, I'm just going to put the pie with my butter and sugar on top into the oven for around 45 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out of the oven and let it cool so I don't burn my mouth on this very hot pie and this very hot skillet. And then finally, I'm going to cut the pie and serve it, and I didn't get very many pictures of this pie, but genuinely, it was such a good pie, and I really recommend it. I've said pie way too many times, but it was really good, and I definitely recommend it. And yeah, happy Thanksgiving!
That looks so good, Audrey. You could be a professional pastry chef. If you lack the cooking skills to make a pie that beautiful, then don't worry. Izzy's here with some easy and affordable Thanksgiving recipes for you.
Hey Oilers, whether you're celebrating with family or having a Friendsgiving, you might be asked to bring a side dish to your gathering. As of right now, grocery stores have limited supplies, and inflation has caused prices to rise on many goods, including your ingredients for your Thanksgiving dishes. However, you're in luck because I'm here to provide you with some dishes that you can easily assemble on a budget for Thanksgiving. The first dish, which is Mrs. Cubison's traditional stuffing oven casserole, is relatively inexpensive and simple to make. Before attempting this dish, you're going to need the supplies, so you can go to your local grocery store to pick them up. I will be going to Vaughn's. You're going to be using the following proportions of these ingredients: 1 box of Mrs. Cubison's traditional stuffing, 1 cup of butter, 1 cup of diced celery, 1 cup of diced onion, and 1.5 cups of chicken broth or vegetable broth. This recipe only has 6 ingredients, and you can alter the amount of each ingredient based on your preference. You're first going to begin by preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you're going to wash off your onion and begin dicing it. After you finish cutting it into pieces, you'll want to begin dicing your celery sticks. Once you finish both of those, you should dice your apples. Place a pot or large saucepan over medium heat and place 2 of your sticks of butter in so they can melt. Once both sticks have finished melting, you can add in each of your bowls of fruits and veggies that you diced previously. Then measure out 1.5 cups of broth for the mix and open the box so you can take out the bag of stuffing. Turn off the stove and move the pot to another burner. There you will add in the bag of stuffing and broth. Remember to stir the mixture. Next, you will need to pour the mixture into a greased pan with the dimensions of 9 by 13 and cover it in foil. Once you've done this, you can place it in the oven and set a timer for 40 minutes. The final results of each dish will be revealed at the end of this segment. Another simple and affordable dish that you can make is basic mashed potatoes. For this dish, you will need a small bag of potatoes, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of milk, and salt and pepper. This 5-ingredient dish can also be altered to fit your preferences. Start by washing, then roughly peeling the potatoes. Next, you'll want to slice the potatoes into small, similar-sized pieces. Then you should start adding water to the pot until it sits slightly above the heap of potatoes. Once you finish that, you should turn the burner on and set it to medium. Add salt to the water and use as much as you like. Then you just have to wait for the water to boil and check the potatoes as they cook. Once they've become soft enough, turn off the burner and drain the water from the pot. Slice 2 tablespoons of butter off a stick and add it to the pot. Then begin mashing the potatoes with a masher or any other tool you think would work. As you continuously mash the potatoes, make sure to add in the milk. You can also add in salt and pepper as you see fit. The final dish that you could bring to your Thanksgiving gathering is cranberry sauce. To assemble this dish, you will need 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of tightly packed light brown sugar, 2/3 cup of orange juice, and 12 ounces of cranberries. This dish only requires 5 ingredients, including water. Begin by obtaining a large pot and pouring your wet ingredients into it. Then measure out the correct amount of each type of sugar, remembering to tightly pack the light brown sugar, and pour both into the pot. Next, you should turn the burner to medium and cook it until the sugar has dissolved and the mixture begins boiling. Remember to stir as you go. Once it begins boiling, add the 12 ounces of cranberries or however much you want into the pot. Stir the mixture and keep the burner on medium until the majority of the berries have burst or you've reached your desired consistency. Then turn off the burner and transfer the mixture to the fridge where it should chill for at least 2 hours. Here's the final results of each recipe. They turned out much better than I expected, and I hope you found this segment helpful. That's all I have for this week, Oilers. Happy Thanksgiving!
Thank you so much, Izzy. Me and my broke butt are definitely gonna take your advice. Well, that's all for today, Oilers. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving break, and remember this: eat well, sleep well, get caught up on all your homework, and most importantly, stay classy.